Morning, Sally. Good morning. Good morning, Sally. Let me clean. Yes, let me clean those ears. Morning. Come on, get up now. Get up. We have to get up now. Timmy. Hello, Timmy. Come on, Timmy. Ouch. You're so clumsy with those bloody claws. Yes. Now you two tomorrow. Tonight you're going to sleep downstairs and I'll have Jerry and Bob, okay? All right, get down. Come on, get down. Get down now. Come on. Down. Get down. Stop it. Stop biting. Get out. Stop it. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's going to get angry. You won't like her when she gets angry. Stop it, Timmy. Leave her. Look at her in the submissive position, Sally. Go and bite him. Go on, bite him. All right, let's get up now. Come on, let's get up.
Hi guys. Now today, I'd like to talk to you about something, about wokery. I think there was a nice lady, one of my subscribers, or I think it's a she, yeah, I think it's Sue or something like that. Anyway, she asked a question because I was talking about woke stuff and communism, and I just mentioned it, I don't know much about this stuff. But she asked the question, how is communism, Marxism, and wokery the same? They're not, like, the vibe was that she was saying that they're not the same. Woke and communism is not the same. And Marxism, these are all things like you hear in all the unrest that happens in America, in the US. And she thinks that this woke stuff doesn't happen here. I just assume, I don't know, that she thinks that there's no communism or Marxism in woke or wokery. And she believes that it's not here. So I think I showed her the differences. The difference, you have communism, you have Marxism, cultural Marxism, and then you have wokery or woke. It's all the same thing. It's not exactly the same. It's just, it varies. It's like saying a fruit is a fruit is a fruit. No, it's not. Yeah. One is a banana, one is a raspberry, one is an apple, but it's still a fruit, right? It all comes from the same type. It's all comes from trees, right? So the source is all the same. It's all communism. Whereas in the past you have anyway, you have the poor masses that rise up against the rich. So it's the same blueprint. You have the oppressor and the oppressed, and the oppressor must be destroyed, right? There has to be a revolution to destroy this oppressor. And the victims or the oppressed were different in the past. So now the goals have changed because the oppressor in this woke ideology, the oppressor is white people. So now if you understand what communism, Marxism, cultural Marxism, and woke is just a new term. It's a cool term, because if they say, well, we are teaching communism in school, that it wouldn't go down well, would it? But it's the same thing. That fist that they have, like when they used to bend their knee for BLM. It's the same fist that they have for for the communist, in the past. You think that like they change it up a little bit. No, they're not afraid. They know it's the same, and everyone like tries to hide that it's different. It's but a lot of people don't know. So I don't really care about politics, okay? I don't care what you believe in or what I believe in. I don't care about left or right. I don't even want to be in the middle. I want to be up there somewhere in the mountain and look at society and see it burn down. That's what I want. I want to see the left and the right all destroying each other, because that's what they do. They never unite. No, I mean, that'll be, so basically what my talk today is about is how wokery destroyed my family. I mean, now I've got soon to be alone. My eldest, she's 17 now. She's fully woke, fully on board with the wokery brainwashing. She'll understand maybe when she's 30 or whatever, but I think she won't, because these, especially women are the ones that are brainwashed the most. Most of the emphasis is on women, because the powers that be, advertisers, whatever, they know that men have got hard heads. They won't be brainwashed so easily. Whereas women are more emotional. You know, it's easier to brainwash the women. It's easier to infiltrate the society via women. They're so stuck up their asses, they don't even see it. They don't see it, how they're being brainwashed and manipulated. How can you con someone? You can con somebody by, how do I put this? By touching on their greed. You know, like, for example, a bloke comes up to you and says, I need loads of, I need lots of money, but not lots. I need a lot of, a bloke comes up to you and says, I need money. This ring is worth 500 quid, but I'll give it to you for just 50 quid because I need money to feed my family. I have to go quickly and pay my bills. You've just been paid, and there's a friend of yours, okay, that wants the ring, will buy it. But then you have to go and get your paycheck. You just finished work. This happened to me, actually. And I went back to get my paycheck. Meanwhile, my friend, he purchased the ring from this guy. This guy left. I came back and I said, oh, where did the guy go? And he said, oh, he had to go because he was in a hurry. He said, so I bought it instead. If he wasn't greedy, he would say, look, give me the money, here's the ring, right? Because the excuse is he had to leave. But no, he wanted it. And so afterwards, we found out that the ring was worth like something like 50p. And a jeweler said, you can find this kind of ring at Shepherd's Bush Market for 50p. He was conned because of his greed, because of his pride, because of his ego. And this is how women are conned. It's always been like this. You know, there has to be, if you look at the principles or the rules of marketing, it's the rules of brainwashing, really. That's how you influence someone. You make an offer so enticing, you know, maybe you can instill fear or excitement or pride, or, you know, you have something to gain. And so women have been brainwashed by this wokery. And this wokery started a long time ago, you know, with not first wave feminism, but, you know, you have that second wave, third wave, you know, where you have the feminism where, like, it gets to the point that where they hate all men. In my family, I thought, you know, growing up, that I was going to be the head of the household like my dad was. He was the head of the household. He was a strong man. And I listened to my dad. I'm listening to him as well. But when I say listen, I don't mean obey. I mean, you know, if he said something, she would listen and they would talk. They would discuss things. But it never turned out like that for me. You know, I never had that happy family. We were happy sometimes, but my kids grew up to be traitors. Or when I say traitors, I mean, I wasn't allowed to be the man. They grew up to be like the authority in the house. I had to just shut up if I didn't want arguments that would hurt me. Like my eldest in London from a previous relationship, she doesn't talk to me. After my dad passed away, she only contacted me. Her mother contacted me because she needed me to get money out of a bank account that my dad promised her, and she couldn't get it out. That's why she contacted me. I was in mourning for my dad, and in the summertime, after another 3 months, she sent me just a message saying she was getting engaged, and I was supposed to be happy for her. Yeah, right. I'm in mourning. I'm not happy for anyone about anything. So then something happened. I lost my phone. And so another 6 months went by, and then I got the phone again. I installed the WhatsApp, and she hadn't contacted me at all. So I sent her a message, say Happy Christmas. If it wasn't for me, nothing. So she said Happy Christmas, and then we started talking again for a short, I know, for that one message, a few messages, that's it. haven't heard from her since. And that's what happens. They get married, they find their man, and then they don't need their daddy anymore. They don't need that father. And it's the same vibe with this other one. I call them demons, witches. I don't call them my daughters. Don't even call them women. They're just witches. All drones, brainwashed by wokery. So that's why I don't like wokery. I hate it. Well, yeah, I hate it. Because hate is a strong word, but that's an evil thing. The things that they teach, like critical race theory. Well, they don't have it in England. Are you sure? Are you sure they don't have it in England? Like in some cases, they trial lots of different stuff until, if it sticks, if it works, then they'll continue. But if it doesn't, then they'll let's think about something else. I think there was this is here in the UK. I'm not talking about the States. I think, was it Tesco's or Sainsbury's or something? They created safe spaces for black or minority workers, so that I can't believe this. So that when it's their break time, I think they have a safe space just for black people. That comes out of the fucking critical theory and the cultural Marxist playbook. That's what it is. And people they don't know where it comes from. They think, oh, it's just diversity, DEI, diversity. What was it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. People don't know what it means. You know what equity means? Equity doesn't mean like equality. It sounds like it. Equity means just that: having stuff, taking stuff. So, for example, if a person is a minority, say, I'm not going to name any minority here. Say an alien comes down, right? And you're a minority. There's only like 5,000 in the world, okay, whatever. You're a minority, right? It's not enough that you should have equal opportunity, or you can't have equal opportunity. You have to have equal outcome. So, for example, if there have to be like 50% of, I don't know, aliens or whatever in these jobs, to correct things of the past. But we don't know what happened in the past, because history is a bit vague. You don't know, because if you can't question history, how can you use history to create laws that affect us now? For example, you cannot talk about what happened in the Second World War in a country that starts with a G. You can't question certain things, right? You can't question what happened in slavery and stuff like that. If you research it, you're called a racist, But they're using all these things that happened in history and saying we have to right the wrongs of the past. Yeah, by basing it on a history that you can't question. What bollocks is that? Stay. Yeah, so I don't know. What's your beef with woke? It's evil. It's absolutely evil. It destroys families. That's what they're meant to do. And like, it's meant to destroy the patriarchy. They hate men. They hate men being the leaders of the family or the head of the family, And you just saying that man is the head of the family, that's already like racist, sexist, transphobe. It ticks all the boxes. Yeah, so that's what happened in my family. And yeah, to be honest, women are brainwashed. They have to have a certain type of man. Men are brainwashed. They're all fucking brainwashed, all of them. I'm not saying I'm the only one who's not brainwashed. I'm brainwashed as well. Yeah, it's difficult blaming you. Yeah, you can blame yourself as well. But I think it's difficult for any man to be the head of the household unless he's making big bucks, unless he's making loads of money, in order for that woman to be happy, to be satisfied. Unless she's a traditional woman. No, hang on, what am I talking about, traditional woman? Unless she's a good woman, a nice woman. It doesn't mean, just because you're a traditional woman, it doesn't make you a nice woman. You can be a traditional woman and not be so nice. A traditional woman, in a sense, she expects a man to slave for the family, and she'll do her cooking and this and that. But what happens once the man is ill or the man gets too old? She'll just monkey branch onto another branch. And then lots of women, these women, I'm Christian, bollocks. How many Christians get divorced? You're not supposed to get divorced. Yeah, all this confusion. There's women priests, gay priests. What next? Trans priest, pedo priest. You know, it's so, the waters are muddied so much because of this wokery. Because wokery, if you think of like communism, Marxism, cultural Marxism, then you understand what they're trying to do to religion. They have to destroy it completely. You know what happened in when it came, BLM? That's all. It's all funded by certain certain people, the elites, but certain people funded this wokery, and they don't fund organizations that love. I have to be careful how I say this. Love Western European people. They fund all the things that are against Western European people. George Soros is one of them. Has he ever funded anything that is for Western people? Indigenous Western people, should I say? Nope. He's one enemy, but there are loads of them. All these like NGOs, non-government organizations. Who funds these non-government organizations that help bring in so many immigrants? In 2015 when loads of immigrants flooded, was it Greece and then later Europe? They found these immigrants, like refugees. They had booklets on how to become a refugee, and guess who was giving out these booklets? These NGOs and these people that were connected to George Soros. So George Soros was funding all of this. I wonder who George Soros is connected to. Some elite, all these elites that have had enough with Western European people and want to, dare I say, I can't say this word, but it's here, want to R them. Yep. You're not allowed to have that thought. No, that's sexist, racist. Soon they're gonna come up with a term that encompasses all this. You're too whitist. Racist, sexist, homophobe, trans, pedophobe, or everything under the sun. You might as well just call it just one blanket, blanket-ist. They'll think of something. I don't know. Xenophobe. No, that's a specific thing. They'll come up with one blanket term. So then, they can like brainwash you in all these areas at the same time, or make you feel guilty. That's why society is completely screwed. And I say, let it burn. Let it burn down to the ground. I want to live on a mountain and look down and see society burn and destroy itself. Because no one's listening. No one sees what's happening. Because they're too busy working, too busy making ends meet, that they can't stop and think. What happened with me and my family? It's all to do with that bloody wokery. All to do with, like, it used to be called political correctness. It's all the same thing. They hate the patriarchy. They hate the man, the man being the head of the household, and they will destroy it. They hate religion. They want to destroy it. They want to infiltrate it, and they'll say, "Why can't women be priests?" You see, and so if you say, "Oh, women can't be priests because," and then they'll say you're sexist. Why can't trans be a priest? And if you say all the goes against biblical scripture, you're transphobe. So they're going to use all these woke points to bully and to destroy things like the family, to destroy things like the religion. And so those are the kind of goals of communism and Marxism and stuff. They want to destroy, but it's not like they want to why do they want to destroy religion, and why do they want to destroy the family? Because they want to destroy the whole society, destroy it and rebuild it again, with their rules. It's a bit like alchemy. It's a kind of societal alchemy. You take a substance. So, for example, I don't know, you take various plants, medicinal plants, and you break them down. You have to destroy them. that process, or it's called digestion, maceration, and there are various like parts of this. You incinerate it, you completely destroy it, and from those ashes you can create beautiful crystals, and you can make a medicine, and you start afresh, with a new substance, a more purer, more cleaner substance, a more perfect substance. And it's kind of like that. It's a kind of like it's a social experiment. It's like our the elites that control us. Oh, conspiracy theories. Yeah, you think no one controls all this? People thinking that there's no person that controls, that there's no that our leaders are not puppets. They've been bloody chosen. Our leaders were chosen like years ago. George Soros, for example, he chose, like he funds, like I think he funded, that the Hungarian, I didn't know that the Hungarian, I'm not sure if this is, some guy told me, the Hungarian Prime Minister, Viktor Orban, the right winger. The right winger apparently is half gypsy and half Jewish. I didn't know that. And apparently, this is what he was saying to me, this Hungarian guy. I don't know if it's true, but he said that these people are chosen. Like Viktor Orban was chosen, and he was either part funded or funded by George Soros, who is a Jewish guy, and he is Hungarian as well. And he funded him. I think he went to Oxford or somewhere. He funded his studies. So these people in positions of power and influence are chosen well before you see them. They're paid, the study is paid, and they're paid as well, and they're like super rich. Like that guy, the leader of the Ukraine? He's super rich. He's got like 60 million. He's got a house in Italy. He's been chosen as well. All of them have been chosen. They're all puppets. And the elites, whatever they want, this is, they say, do this, do that. And that's what they do. And people think that this doesn't exist. It does exist. And I think the elite, they're playing a game with us, with society. We are the prawns, yeah, prawn cocktail. We are pawns. And for example, when it comes to like black guys, black people, BLM and stuff like that, you have to think who trained BLM. I know who trained BLM. I know who funded them. And it's not people that like Western society. It's people who were terrorists. Terrorists in the 1960s, 1970s. People who have influence and power and who have who's got loads of money? I wonder who it could be. I wonder. People that hate us, that hate European people. Yeah, as I was saying, I think the elite, we're like a social experiment. Oh, and black people, the way they are brainwashed is they're like pawns and foot soldiers for the elite, for this wokery. And they're kind of, and you see, that's how you can brainwash people, via their ego, via their pride, via their greed. They're promising, in a sense, they're promising black people this promised land, this heaven, this utopia, our communist utopia, get rid of all these evil whites, or as many as we can, and you can keep the allies, And those allies, those whites that believe in all this communist BS, they're also, in communist terms, they are useful idiots. Basically, they're useful until their use has expired. And, black people have to understand, what do you think they're going to do to you once your use is over? Once the utopia has been arrived at? You think that then you can still complain? Say you have this utopia, this woke utopia. Communism doesn't exist, no. This utopia, okay? You think you'll be able to complain or demonstrate? No, you'll be shot. Because times are good now. They won't be good if they ever get to this utopia that they're trying to pursue. No, you won't be able to complain. You see how they are. So basically, in communism and Marxism and all that stuff, there's no allowance for dissent. And you can see this culture, the cancel culture. You're not allowed to say this, not allowed to say that, otherwise you're cancelled. It's the same thing. It's just a modern version of that up there. And so this filters down, why do I care? Some guys might be saying, don't mess around with our communist business. I'm not messing around with anything. I don't care about your business. But what I care about is my family. and how it's destroyed my family. And it's like a virus. It's a disease. It is a disease that has infiltrated everything, infiltrated religion. Religion now has to be woke, infiltrated politics, infiltrated all kind of advertising, infiltrated the family. And that's the last place. Once it's gotten into the family, that's it. Families are all broken up. You don't call your girlfriend or your wife anymore. You call her my partner. Because partner then could mean, it could be a man, a woman, a dog, a beast. It can be anything. My partner. Yeah. Even our language has bloody changed. Anyway. Yeah, so I think that all this wokery has really messed up my family. And this hasn't only happened to me, it's happened to loads. First you had feminism, women had to fight for their rights, and the man has always been beaten down. For a man to be like the strong man in the house and the leader, he has to make loads of money, he has to have a great job, he has to be physically and mentally really fucking strong. It's just like it's almost as if being head of the household now is like being leader of a country. You have to be unbelievably fucking strong. You have to hold down all the rebellious factions, within society. And this has happened with me. My wife, never been the traditional wife, that's for sure. Always talked back to me. Never kept the word in. Never said sorry. I was always the one to say sorry. Now she's brought up a daughter that's twice as worse as she is, because at least my wife wasn't into that kind of wokery too much. Yeah, but she was a little bit. She didn't allow me to be the man of the house. She was always the man, the one with the trousers. Because I had, mental health problems, and she took care of the finances, bills and everything. And so in her mind, I'm not a man anymore. I was a man in the bedroom until she had no use for me anymore. That's the way I see it. I was used as a seed to seed her, to give her children. And now my use is over. She's gone. So that's why just because you're a traditional woman, it doesn't mean you're a good woman. Because the traditional woman for me means, oh yeah, you want the man that has got money, that looks after you, what's it called? Hypergamy, that buys you stuff, that is a good father, that jumps through all the hoops. But then when that man, say if he's ill, he has mental health problems, money runs out, business fails or whatever, then arguments happen and then you leave. That's the traditional woman. Who the fuck wants that? Sorry, I didn't swear for the whole bloody video. Who wants that? I don't want that. I'd rather have a woman that's not traditional, that is really independent. They go on about independence. They're not independent at all. But a really independent woman would say, maybe could actually love you. Because why would a traditional woman love you? They love you for what they can get from you. But a woman who's not traditional in her way of thinking is free to actually love, maybe. It's free to have feelings that are not linked to, financial security or hypergamy. There's always going to be a little bit of hypergamy, A woman always still wants to feel secure. It's not something that she can control. So she wants to feel secure with a man who is at least taller than her, or heavier than her, or his grip strength is maybe stronger than hers. Little things like that. But yeah, so my estranged daughter in London doesn't talk to me. And it's all because of society and this woke stuff, political correctness, they used to call it. It's basically, it's a war against men, but not specifically against men. Because men are the vanguard, the guardians of the family, of the society. They used to be. But once you infiltrate society with a Trojan horse, this Trojan horse is called a political correctness, a woke. Yeah, this virus spreads throughout every part of society. As I said, religion is going to destroy religion from the inside out. Family, it is destroying families from the inside out. Politics, sport, everything will be filled with this because it has to destroy society from the top to the bottom. It has to destroy everything and create a new kind of society. A society where, to be honest, indigenous European people are no more. And I think the masses, they're starting to understand, but those those middle class, snobby, toffee nose guys, they think they're above it all and they're clever and everything's going to be okay. No, it's not. It's not. They think they can go and hide in the countryside in a nice house. Yeah, but what about your sons and daughters? You probably don't even have kids. That's the way I see it. I think society is over. Not because I'm over. I mean, I am as well. But I see it everywhere. Especially the Western society, Western European society is over. Unless we as a society focus on the things that made our society great in the past. People laugh at things like, things that are traditionally Western. People think they're uncool. That people should focus on those things again. But the powers that be, the BBC, the TV stations, they're not going to focus on those things. They're going to ridicule them, and they're going to focus on other things. Like in London, the Notting Hill Carnival, the Caribbean Carnival is glamorized. It's there's lots of funding that goes into it, and growing up, I would know when the Notting Hill Carnival is. 31st of August every year almost. Ask me when St. George's Day is. I don't bloody know. They never taught me at school. No, they never. That's messed up, that is. The patron saint of our country. St. George's Day. And I don't even know. And yet I know when a carnival that started up in the 1970s to celebrate God knows what, but it's not to celebrate our patron saint, the patron saint of this country. Even Christmas has been demonized because it might offend other people. See, this is all woke. If you think about what I just said in the past, it's to destroy religion. So wokery says, well, you might upset someone if you say Happy Christmas. It's against, you might insult someone or make someone feel uncomfortable. It meant to destroy religion, meant to destroy the family. So, well, you be saying that you're the head of the household is a bit sexist, isn't it? Meant to destroy the family. These are the goals of communism, Marxism, and the woke. When you see how people think nowadays and you see their goals, these goals are still alive. From the past, these past evils, they've hatched new evils, modern ones that sound nice. It's just like PEDO or nonsense, that sounds bad. Let's change it to MAPS. Minority attracted persons, yeah. Minor attracted persons, MAPS. Let's make it more respectable. And they've got their flag as well, that LGBT flag. There's that nonce flag as well. Dark times, I'm telling you. These dark times are coming if we're not in them already. That's just my talk about how wokery destroyed my family life. Now I'm crazier, wiser. Is that the same thing? And I've lost a lot. Not everything. I still have little bits of my mind. Hopefully I can come off this 30-year addiction to antidepressants. Yeah, I lost my family. I'm going to be alone soon. Some people say, oh, it's the best thing. I don't know. I've never been alone all my life. I had my mum and dad. Only once when I went to China I was alone. But I knew I had something to fall back on. I knew my dad was at home in London. The home was there, the house that I always lived in for most of my life. So I had like an anchor. Now I'm floating around. You see, even now with my family, I have some connection to the past. They were there with me in London, in the house that I grew up in. They knew my dad. My dad has passed away. Now I'm in this new house. There's still some connection to the past. But now I'm going to be like floating around like a limbo, do you call it? Like in space, not attached to anything. Well, not attached to that anchor, my father, my mother, the house. Yeah, I have memories in my head about my parents, but maybe it's wokery. Maybe it's, I would have been alone anyway, maybe. I would have sabotaged whatever family I had. I don't know. It didn't get to that point because wokery came in and destroyed everything. The whole point is to destroy everything, everything of the past. You know, the BLM, when they were smashing down statues and things like that, happened in communist countries. Happened in China when they destroyed the temples. They destroyed everything because they had to get rid of the four olds, the old traditions. You know, like old religion or old culture, the old way of thinking. The same thing. They have to destroy the old way of thinking, and not just change it. They have to destroy it. They have to bringing down statues and things like that is communist. That's what happened. People don't see that though. So how do you defeat communism? I don't want to defeat it. I just don't want to be around it. I suppose you can lie and say, yeah, I'm a communist. I don't believe in family. I don't believe in religion or God. No, just believe in the leader. As I said, I want to live in a mountain and look at society from far away and see it burn to the ground and not lift one finger to help. Because the society that we have is evil. You wouldn't want to save that society. Anyway, I think, yeah, so that's my talk about how wokery destroyed my family. Yeah, you're going to get guys. You destroyed your family because you couldn't handle modern life the way things are at the moment. That's true. I can't. I know others have come before me and others will come after me. And so this is a transitionary period that I have to adapt to, you know. I thought I had a family, a wife. To be honest, people who will look after me when I'm old. Now I have to fall back on myself with all my illnesses, mental illness as well, and health deteriorating and going down on my own.